It's wonderful.
Okay. We're gonna wait till the things get passed around, and
I'm filming
Okay.
We're
that
going to keep
bit.
passing things around all this.
is that what we do through the whole
Yes,
thing? So
yeah,
that's
what we
the
do.
background
Very
noise that I'll have to
casual,
edit out
yes,
somehow.
absolutely.
Okay. So I'm gonna use Camtasia to record, and you'll be able to see the end product later. Okay. So during this meeting, we're going to do a couple things. The first thing that we're going to look at is how to get into WebEIM, signing in if you've never done that before. After that, we're going to look at the reports and what they should look like when you print them out, because we can't actually print them out just yet. So we'll look at the email from Simon back on December 10th. Then we're going to look at a disclaimer about how much text you can put into your little fields there. Desktop. If you don't, then you can just talk to Caroline or Ash or me. And I'm just going to log in.
Okay.
Now, you will go in.
I can't do two things at once.
Okay.
In this
Can you,
season,
are you still recording?
I can record.
I can read them. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, so we have the rating scales. Like a 1 to 3 means that they require constant reminders from the teacher, all the way up to 9 to 10, which says that they work independently and highly self-motivated.
And you
So-
all got this email today from Simon.
From Simon, yeah. So that's on page 1, 2,
3.
3.
Yeah.
If you want to refer back, because I thought that level 1 would be the other way around.
Now, am I right in thinking that this is going to translate as a smiley face on the report?
I'm not sure what
Okay.
the front end is going to look like.
I'm not
But-
sure either, but initially when they showed it to us, it was the smiley face sliding scale, but you
Yeah.
still need a numerical value to actually say where that smiley face is going to go. So maybe it'll turn out to a number, but
Go
I
back
think it's
to-
going to be a place on a continuum
look at that in
a minute.
this smiley face will go in. So.
Okay. Now, with that said, if you do want to see what the reports look like, if you go into your email and we search for, I have an unread email here, let's see. And down here, there were the classroom reports and the single subject reports, and this shows what they look like. So I've already got these downloaded, and when you download them, they will come as zip files, and you have to double click, and it will open them up into a folder like this, and then you can see, let's look at PE.
Can you look at art, please, as Alara's here, because she's never here.
Okay, we'll look at the art report.
I don't mean that from a Thank you.
And so this is what the teachers are going to see, or sorry, the parents are going to see when it's printed, ideally.
So I don't have the level thing.
Okay.
Yes, you do. There's student death face. So 1, he's on the miserable face side. If it's a 10, he's on the happy face.
See?
I like
Yeah.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Oh. And a happy face. Okay.
that. So I've got 3 ticks.
Mhm. So this report looks quite different than, say, the classroom reports. Which one would you like to look at?
Grade 3.
Grade 3 language.
Always himself at that.
Okay. And so we can see.
Oh,
That's your statement, that's your effort number. Now, as I understand it, you've got 150 characters for strength and 150 characters for learning goals, and I think that includes spaces.
And I'd
maybe Caroline could show us how we counted those earlier on so that...
I'd like to show you actually here. So.
That's right. Because as always, you need to be working in Word and cutting and pasting. It's just that once every couple of years, someone loses everything for
So-
some reasons. You always want to have a backup on Word.
When you look here, and I think it goes to about there, that's how many characters you have. Let's just be sure. I'm going to go into the word count, and it shows me that that's 148 characters with spaces. So you look, it's only a line and a half basically, and that's going to give you,
So it's really very...
it's less than a tweet. A tweet is 160 characters, this is 10 characters less than. So, okay. Now, with that said, the other thing that we wanted to look at, Judith is going to take this over.
help if we generated a general comment So it should give you some indication of what to go in the general comments. So there's in your report guide, there's a list of descriptors for what goes in them, and then there's a sample of what should go in them. In the discussion that we were having, Simon was going, we've prepared one. Well, bless him, we tore him to shreds, and we said, no, we don't like that, and we don't like this, and we don't like the other. And we decided that, well, why don't we write one where there's something wrong with various parts of it? So we did. So we started off, I hope it's slightly tongue-in-cheek. I would say nobody writes a report like this, but I hope it's helpful to you to go, right, so let's write the slightly silly ones first. So you've got a limited number of characters. Oscar is a lovely boy and a pleasure to have in class. It's quite who he is rather than how he's performing. If you look at the sample you've got, it's about he shows, he's caring in his behaviour and this is what he does. So it's more evidence-based rather than you're nice and you're not. Because it does imply that Oscar's a lovely boy, but everybody else in the class is not very nice at all, really.
Some kids aren't nice.
Well, then we put, what's the behaviour that isn't nice? What is it about them? They're not good at sharing, they're unkind to their friends, so something about it rather
Developing
than...
a sense of empathy, but not quite.
Particularly with mathematics, because there was some
Yes.
feedback with people saying some of the strands may not have been covered this time, at this time, because we've taught it and then we're reporting on it. Maybe next year we'll think about, do we want to do if we want to do all the strands before the first report, we'll know beforehand and then we can decide whether we take them off.
Okay.
But at the moment we put it in everything, even reading, which of course no one will be writing not applicable for reading, hopefully, but there may be some places, so it makes a bit more flexibility.
I was thinking he would always stay there because there are children that come halfway through the year, aren't
Yeah,
there?
maybe. Okay.
So if they've been only in the school for 2 weeks before you write the report,
You're right, that has happened, yeah.
non-applicable, wouldn't you, for a lot of things.
No,
They will
no,
have a review.
if you have a child who's just before the report, for example, we've got a Japanese child called Rina who's starting in grade 3 next week or the week after. She's not going to have a report at all, so she's not going to have a report that's covered with not applicable.
Oh, okay.
What we do for a child who's just starting just before the report is we write a letter, and it's basically a letter saying this child has settled in and this is our first thingies and we look forward to getting to know her over the next term. But we don't issue a report because there's nothing much to report on for a child who just started. Anyway, back to you, Tom.
Great. With that said, the next field that we would be concerned with is the levels. And this was sent out to us or was it sent out already? From Simon or Ash. And it talks about that the lowest level, number 1, it means that it's actually the lowest level of achievement, whereas a 10 would be really high level.